handle's stuck. My handle's
Yeah,
stuck.
the handle's stuck. Get a bit of oil on it. Oh my God!
I love you.
Love you. I'm sticking my tongue out. That's a... I wonder if he'll be his usual self.
It's recording.
Hello.
Hello.
We thought we'd start a new podcast. What's it called?
Couples therapy.
Couples Therapy. So this is essentially where me, Chris, and
Me, Case.
are going to talk about anything and everything that we tend to ramble on about when we're on our own at home. So I believe we've put it into the ether that we've put a few questions.
Yes.
So Case was good enough to throw a few questions out to everyone to answer. So I believe you've got a few of those to
Yes.
to line up for us now.
Okay, we'll start with one from my friend, which is, tell us your relationship story.
I'll let you take off from here.
I knew you would.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, Chris is my best friend Emma's brother. Me and Emma worked together at a pub. But shall... Anyway, it was going to remain nameless, but it's fine. Yeah, anyway, so, and Chris is a musician, so he was playing at Cardiff Castle, and I had someone else at the time. But I went to this gig at Cardiff Castle, watched this beautiful specimen play, and decided I need that man. So, bided my time with the other fella. And then split up with him, decided, young, free and single now, let's hit Chris up. So sent him a DM, which was carefully put together by me and his sister and our friend, to go for a coffee, went on a date, and basically never left.
And we've been each other's shadow ever since. And we've actually developed a third shadow. This is Dexter, by the way. Say hello, Dexter.
He's going to be a maniac.
He is a bit hyperactive, so if he jumps in front of the camera, then bear with. Good on then, mate.
Yes, so then moved into his flat, like 7 weeks into seeing each other. Now we've just bought... Chris is coming back.
Sorry.
Just bought our first house, engaged.
I don't have a ring yet, but you know.
Slay, getting married next year.
All go.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? That's our relationship story.
We've jam-packed like a 6-year plan into 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Basically. What most people would do in around 6 years, we've done in about 2.5. Because why not?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's our little story anyway. Our love story.
Okay, got some questions from Instagram here.
Go on,
This
talk
one's
about going
from
blind.
Macy. She said, one thing that you loved about each other and one thing you didn't like about each other when you first met.
I reckon the one thing we both didn't like about each other was that we knew the person that you were sat in front of was probably going to get attention from the opposite sex.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So we probably both sat there thinking the same thing, enjoying the time, but thinking, who's looking?
And equally, the thing I loved was that you were fit.
Yeah.
So it was a double-edged sword.
Yeah, we just kind of committed to the poison pill, so to speak. And the thing I loved about you was your personality, the way you looked. Yeah, pretty much everything.
Another one off Mace. Funniest situation we've ever been in together.
Well, there's been a few.
I need to think of one off the top of my head.
We've been in like awkward situations, like sort of situations that most people might not find necessarily awkward or funny, but we found funny.
Can you give an example?
No, not off the top of my head.
No, I can't. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough.
Let's think.
You could always park that one and we could come back to it. We could round back to that one.
Okay.
That might be one we need to have a think on, to be
Yeah.
fair. Because we are going completely blind with these questions. Well, I certainly am
Completely
anyway.
blind.
So,
These questions are the ones that we found on TikTok.
oh yeah.
So these are more like deeper questions or more
Gritty, the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what our podcast will be, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
chatting bollocks.
Yeah.
Question 1. Okay, this is the funny one. What would you do if you ran out of toilet paper in a public toilet after a huge poop? I'll let you go first.
That's a panic situation in there.
Yeah.
That's a code red or code brown straight away. I would probably, this is going to sound gross, but I think whatever answer I give ultimately is going to be a bit gross, isn't it? There's no easy way out of this. You've got two trains of thought, right? You either go for it and just think, right, I'm going to quickly pull up the trousers and do like a little duck walk and just kind of either hobble. What I would do is try and kind of hobble out to the place I'm in, like the pub, the meal, whatever. And I'd just say like, I feel really unwell. I've got to go home. And then make my way out. That's option 1.
Hang on, you wouldn't even try another stall?
I hadn't thought of that.
You just go straight to going into
I
the
knew.
restaurant.
I hadn't thought that. The other option was much worse. So I'm glad I didn't start with that one. The other option was, and again, hear me out, but I think you take your socks off and, you know, give it a go.
Where are you putting the socks?
Oh, you sack them off. Find a bin, find a stall.
What if they were like Gucci socks though?
They'd be more than Gucci socks by the time I was done with them. Yeah, no, I'm good. They can leave. I can leave them, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, what would you do? And you can't say go in another store because that's like the boring answer. Let's assume there's no other toilet paper available.
Well, realistically, I'd have my phone with me.
Yeah.
So I'd just ring whoever I was with, whether that was you, Macy, family, other friends, whatever. And I'd just say, like, look,
Yeah.
you need to either speak to, you know, someone wherever we are, or you need to go and buy toilet paper and bring it back to me because I'm not moving with shit all over my arse.
The only issue is my phone's always on silent. It's not even on vibrate half the time. So if you were calling me, I'd have it in my pocket thinking, right, we're on a date. Let's not be rude and have our phones out. So the phone would be awake, asleep and in my pocket. And yeah, I'd just be sat there thinking, God, she's having a good time, having a session. I would eventually check it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not going to sit there if I'm gone for 20 minutes.
No, I think...
You like to check in on me anyway.
Well, there's a question. How long would you leave it before you checked in? How long is too long? How long is, you know...
I text you and you go for a wee upstairs in our house, so not long.
Yeah. I reckon I would probably leave it. I'd give you 5 minutes and I'd start to think, it's a bit uncomfortable now. I'd probably just say, everything okay? I'm just going to go save the cat again.
Okay.
What's the next question?
The next one is, what is one wrong assumption people always make about you?
Okay.
Mine is that people think that I'm a bitch. And I can be a bitch.
Can't
But
we all?
I've got a resting bitch face. So the amount of times people have said to me, like, oh, I thought you were a proper bitch when I first met you.
Go on, let's see your resting bitch face.
No, you weirdo.
Go on.
No, I
I'll
can't
give you mine.
now.
Yeah, that's quite bitchy.
I don't think it is.
Mine is probably that people think I've got a personality.
No, be real.
Biggest misconception of me?
Mm-hmm.
Probably that they think I'm quiet, a bit posh and reserved. And then once people get to know me, they realise I'm a bit mad and a bit loud and I don't really care what people think and stuff. So it's a bit...
I'd agree with that about you.
I probably start like a shell in their head and then I become this bright flower that blossoms in time. Go on, these are good. What's next?
Okay.
Note the Christmas t-shirt as well. Time of year. Been waiting all year to put this back on.
Note the Batman pyjamas.
Time of year.
No copyright here.
No.
Okay. What item would you save from a burning building Look at that. I've written burning building building.
Oh, that's all right.
Burning building and why?
Well, you go first on this one if you want.
No.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't.
Also, pets and humans.
Yeah, it's
don't-
like a.
you know, it's-
Let's assume it's a building that's just full of your belongings. Then,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
So every belonging you have,
Yeah.
not including your car if you've got one, but yeah, every. Okay, I wouldn't save my phone. I'd see that as a massive, like, I'd be so happy. I'd be, oh, the phone's gone, is it? For me, I would probably save my teddy bear, Ted would.
I knew you'd save Ted.
Yeah, Ted would. He's been with me since day one, and he'll hopefully be there for the duration. So yeah, Ted would be mine, hands down.
I knew you'd say that.
What about you?
My phone.
I knew you'd say
And
that.
there's good reasoning. It's not for Facebook, Instagram, all that malarkey. It's because I take lots of photos and lots of videos.
That's true.
So,
Because phones are like photo albums.
Yeah.
Like these days, phones are like photo albums.
yeah, like if you asked someone this question 20 years ago, they'd say photo album. But
Yeah.
obviously my photo albums are all on my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
'Cause that's why a lot of people still have Facebook, isn't it? Because they've got
Yeah.
like memories from like when Facebook was relevant, like
Yeah.
9-10 years ago. You know, there's remember that, remember this. Whereas in my respect, I hate looking back at photos from like 9-10 years ago, because usually they're from me when I was like in uni or
in jail.
in jail. Never have I been in jail ever.
On the streets.
On the streets,
On
yeah.
the run.
Yeah, begging
On the lamb.
on the lamb. And it's the cheesy statuses I hate with old Facebook memories. I don't tend to get them too much anymore, but remember we were saying about this when you were in work. I was saying this with one of your colleagues. I was saying how like the old Facebook status used to be like, it would be like, so it would be like your name, and then it would say is. So it'd be like Chris is going to the football. Chris is having a great day, and then you'd usually do like a feeling at the end of it. It'd be like,
Yeah.
you could pick your emotions. It'd be like,
People, I used to like, so when I first got Facebook, I was like 10. But also I was friends with like my dad's friends and my mum's friends, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
And I remember once, I can't remember who it was though, and it bugs me. It obviously said, you know, for this example, we'll call him Dave.
strong name.
I know, yeah. Dave is, and it said, at the petrol station in Pentwyn, grabbing a Coke Zero, feeling hopeful. And I was like, I was 10 and I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, why are you feeling hopeful? Like hoping they've kept that one Coke Zero for him in the garage.
I long to be that man.
No,
I long to
no.
be Dave in this situation.
You are Dave.
I would love to be that person
Sidebar,
making
anyone
you...
that doesn't know, his last name is Davey, so I call him Dave.
Yeah, it happens.
So
I'm used to it now.
if I say Dave and you think, well, his name's Chris. His name is Chris, but his name is Dave.
It is. I go by most things. Dave and Chris are quite nice compared to what I've been called previously. So, yeah, we take Dave these days.
Like
don't we?
Jailbird.
It's nasty, that is. What's this with you and me in prison, by the way? Me and arrested. I'm like the greenest flag you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
Go on, what's next? Hit me.
Okay. What would you do? This is a Chris question, by the way. What would you do if you came downstairs one morning and there was an alligator in your lounge?
That is a banging... Go on, you go first. I want to know what you'd do.
Right, if I walked downstairs...
What about a big alligator as well?
And are we saying like a weekday, so I have work, or like a Sunday?
Let's say Sunday, because we're both... Let's just say Sunday morning. Tomorrow morning, we wake up and we come downstairs and there's an alligator, which, bearing in mind, would probably be the length of our lounge, I reckon.
Okay, and which way is its head?
Facing the door.
Facing me?
Yeah, you open the door, he's looking at you and he's looking like he wants breakfast. Go on, what would you do?
Honestly, I think I'd just close the door and walk away.
Okay, but how are you getting rid of him? So yeah, that's fair enough, but how would you what's the next thing you
I'd
do?
call the police.
You call the police on an alligator?
No, listen, I'd close the door quietly, right? And, I would walk up the stairs, try not to make too much noise, because then he might realise where we're going.
Yeah.
I'd come in, I'd wake you up, I'd say, love, there's an alligator in the lounge.
I'd say, is the coffee on?
Well, and then I would ring the police because they would know of someone that can help.
I can picture it now. 999. Hello? Yeah, alligator's in my lounge. Is he robbing you? No. Is he doing anything bad at all? No, he's just sitting there. Well, when he does something, let us know, okay?
No, Chris, honestly, if I called the police and I
Yeah.
said, listen, fellas, it's not really... Because you don't go through to a police officer, you go through to those weird reception people.
Okay, yeah.
So...
I got a plan.
Right, I'm not finished.
Okay.
So I'd say, listen, love, I need you to get me in touch with someone.
Yeah.
And they say, well, why are you ringing us with the police? Is there a crime?
Yeah.
No. No crime. Might be a crime. Because actually, how did the alligator get in here?
Let's assume...
He must have been let in by someone.
Let's assume, for the purposes of the story, that I left the door open at night at the back and we just happened to live opposite an alligator sanctuary.
Right, we don't. Okay, you left the door open and this gator just came in. First of all, while on the phone to the police, I'd be going on your phone on Lanish and Thornhill community page saying, has anyone seen this alligator?
Yeah.
But back to the police, I'd say, listen, Gator in lounge, help me, basically. And they would say, right, we can put you in contact with this person. I'm sure there's a zoo that'll take him.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's got to be one. I don't think there's one in Wales, is there? I don't know.
No, but there's there's a zoo somewhere though.
Yeah.
There's plenty of zoos in the UK.
Bristol love animals. There's always something going on in Bristol. It's not Bristol Zoo anymore, is it?
No.
We went there, didn't we?
What's the one we went to for Centre Parks next to
Longleat.
Longleat
They
will
would
take
love
them.
one.
So that's fine. I'll
Yeah,
just tell the
they'd love
police
one.
and then they'll say, right, probably best you leave the house. And I
Yeah.
say, okay. So then I'd ring Longleat and I'd just say, listen guys, I got a present for you.
Yeah.
More of a donation, really. I do want financial compensation.
Yeah.
$3,000 for the gator, please.
Yeah, good
and they'll
shout.
say, there we are, so days,
Yeah. No, it's a good shout.
Make 10 times that in a day.
That is a good shout.
So therefore, that's my story.
Gator-wise, I would open the door. I would do the obvious, cack my pants. I'd close the door, but then I'd open, so opposite our lounge door, you've got a front door. So I'd open the front door. I would block off the stairs with everything and anything, mattresses that you could find. Granted, an alligator would do a mattress easily, but and I would make it, I'd then open that with a rope. I'd attach a rope to it, a string to it, and open the door, push it open so that he had an option to go straight out the front door. And then as soon as he was out the front door, I'd double down and I'd get the doors locked and everything.
Would you not call anyone to let...
Yeah, I probably would, yeah, to be fair. I'd call pest control, animal control, something like that, yeah. I'd Google
Pest control.
I'd call animal control. Council, innit?
Google gator in my lounge. Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's the council that you call for.
Cardiff Council.
Yeah,
they
they'd
do
probably
anything.
probably come within 25 to 30 business days or something, wouldn't they?
Years more like. Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be my plan. It's not quite as fun as yours, but I just open the door basically and build a bit of a fort for the upstairs. So
Okay. What's a childhood dream you've given up on and why?
ooh, it's deep, that one. Well, it's me first as well, isn't it? I reckon I'm 32. I reckon I'm at this stage I can commit to my professional football career going out the window now. I reckon, sadly, my day has come and gone.
I quite agree.
Yes. So I'll just stick to my five-a-side days. So I'll stick to that a couple of times a week.
KCFC. Oh.
Go on, zoom in on that. Go close on that.
Hello. It's because I don't know where the camera is. KCFC.
Is it backwards?
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, football career out the window. And was the question why as well?
Yeah.
'Cause
you're old.
It's the old injury, innit?
Because you're old.
It's the old injury.
It's because you're old.
Yeah, I'm getting old. So what would yours be anyway? What dream have you given up?
Dream I've given up. Probably having 3 kids and being married all by the age of 20.
Yeah. But that isn't even my fault.
No, it's...
Like, a lot of these things we joke about being that one, I didn't even know you were 20, so...
Yeah, you did. We met when I was 18 at Emma's
at a
engagement party.
Yeah, true. But,
oh God, I forgot all about
I didn't know you at 20. Skip.
Next, do you think people change or just reveal who they really are?
Ooh, it's you first as well.
I don't think people change.
But it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, people don't change, but you become more comfortable with people. So in
Yeah,
doing
but I
that,
mean, like, not like a partner. Like,
yeah, give a situation.
I don't want to give a situation like of people that we know and bait them out.
Mm.
That's the only thing, isn't it? Right, okay, so say, let's just say his name is John.
Hi, John.
Okay, now there's lots of Johns. John, if you're listening,
Lots of Johns in my family.
this isn't about you. This is a different person we're just giving the name John to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so if John is being rude to people suddenly and acting out of character, and then like 2-3 years down the line he's still acting like that, like that's who he really is.
So you think?
Do you know what I mean?
So you think people
can mask who they really are, and you know they can do that for a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But like deep down, people are who they are, and you can't change things about people. It's like cheaters.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, yeah, I agree with that. Sorry, by the way, I think, but circumstances create the environment for the person to grow in, don't they? So if your circumstance, like for example, really extreme example, right? If you're kidnapped and you're kept in a dungeon for 6 months, you become a different person because of the environment you're in. So if a person's in an environment that's less dramatic than that, but they're in an environment that they don't like, or that's maybe they've outgrown or they're not good for, they'll then become a different person, and then that creates this dilemma of have they changed or were they always like this. I think people have got a core. Their core never changes. So you're either a good person or you're a bad person. You know, you're either the sort of person that will break laws or you're the sort of person that will choose not to, as an extreme example.
yeah.
But I do think that your circumstances can mask whatever your core is. And I think you can
I think I agree with you.
over a short term become like a different person. Yeah, but I think ultimately when you break away all the barrier, you can then see that the person is good or bad. And I don't think that person changes.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. I don't think a person's, like you say, core changes.
No.
But some aspects about the person can change.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you,
and if they don't choose to, like, if they don't leave the environment, then if they don't leave that, they don't then change how they're being, then they will be seen as a bad person. Again, a good person can be seen as a bad person.
I do agree with you. You have changed my mind on that.
Switcheroo.
Right. Do long-term friends typically stay friends because of how long they've known each other, or because they actually like them? And this is typically.
That's a hard one because
I'll happily go first.
Yeah, go on. I mean, for me, like, I'm trying to think, me personally, long-term friends, firstly, how do you define long-term? What would you say is, when does a friend go from being a friend to like a long-term friend in your book?
5 years.
That's what I was thinking, 5 years. So anyone I've known more than 5 years then, yeah?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have anyone friendship-wise that I couldn't get on with. So for me,
yeah,
that would be my thing. Like, my point to that, sorry, is that any like long-term friends, like people I was hanging out with in primary school or high school or whatever, uni, college, I don't tend to have them around anymore unless I really click with them. Like Mike, I love, he's superstar. So yeah, for me, that would be my answer, I think.
I think it's different for girls.
Yeah, it is different
because I think girls typically are a lot bitchier, and say you're friends with say you're a girl now, you're friends with someone at age 11, they then, you go through puberty, you grow up, and suddenly you're 20, that girl isn't the same girl you became friends with at 11.
No. I totally agree with you.
But I think typically girls will stay friends with somebody because they've known them so long, and it's almost like it's not a trauma bond, but it's like a trauma bond.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. You know how some people stay with their partners because it's comfortable. They don't love them. They don't even necessarily like them most of the time.
Yeah,
but it's comfortable and it's
reliable.
Yeah.
I can see why people would do it, definitely.
Yeah, like we've got friends that are, they've been friends for 15 years and they don't necessarily like each other. They've probably got a lot of love for each other because they've grown up together and all that. But I think maybe 7 times out of 10 they don't really like the person that the other one is.
I just think naturally, after a period of between like 7 years, between 5 and 10 years, right? I think naturally you become a different person. You develop, think about where you were 5 years ago.
And I think it depends on age as well, though.
Yeah. But so if you're changing, everyone else is going to be changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to be really, really tight for these two people to change in the same way consistently every break, every time there's a 5-year period.
Like, I know full well, me and Mace have been friends for 8 years now.
Yeah.
Me and Mace are intertwined.
Yeah.
We are one person.
Yeah.
There'll never be a point where I look at Mace and my relationship with Mace and think, oh, we're only friends still because of how long we've known each other. That will never be the case.
No.
But I think, for example, if I'm friends with someone from primary school, till now, that's nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm a completely different person from the primary school. Whereas I feel like if you make friends, if you become friends with someone when you're, say, 30...
Yeah, good age, but yeah.
In 10 years, mentally, you're not going to have changed that much.
No.
Because you're already fully grown, fully developed. You know who you are as a person at 30 years old.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you don't like someone, chances are you're not going to...
It's not going to change.
Stay friends with them.
Yeah.
But if you meet someone when you're 30 and you're still best friends at 40... chances are you're still going to be best friends and get on really well forever.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I do agree with you there. Good question, that one. I like that. I like the questions that make you think.
Yeah. Well, we've got a Reddit.
Go on.
Am I the arsehole situation?
Oh, go on.
Here.
This sounds great.
So I found this earlier. I haven't read it properly, but we'll see where we stand. Okay.
And we don't always agree on things like this,
no,
do we? Quite often we
most
clash.
of the time we don't agree.
So this will be quite interesting.
So we'll try and do one of these every episode.
Yeah, we'll do that. Definitely. Go on.
Right. Am I the arsehole for telling a guy to stop sending sexual messages to my girlfriend? That's the title.
Okay.
I
know where my head's at already, by the way, kind of. But let's just see where this goes.
I, 17 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 18 female, for around 3 months at this point. Ever since we started dating, she's been almost constantly telling me about this other guy, 17 male, that we're both acquainted with, sending her sexual messages.
So, we've got boy, 17, girlfriend, 18.
Yeah.
She's getting messages off a mutual friend.
Off a mutual friend.
Okay, that's awkward. Go on.
First of all, already,
it's not looking good for the friend, is it?
I won't go into detail about what he said, but thankfully no messages have been involved and it's just creepy, weird messages. My girlfriend says she's extremely uncomfortable with the messages and has told him on multiple occasions to stop, but he hasn't.
See, that in itself right there, that's bad, isn't it? She's told him to stop.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, in any concept of life, you tell someone to stop and they don't. It's like, why are you not stopping?
Exactly.
Go on.
Though she told me not to say anything to him about it, as we see him almost daily, and it would make things awkward, and I respected her wishes for a while. Do you not love your girlfriend? Anyway.
Really? Is it not him making it awkward, though, the friend?
Exactly.
He's the one making this awkward, not
Exactly.
you, by raising it. Go on.
Recently, she again told me about him sending more sexual messages, and I was at my limit with it because I knew how much she didn't like it. I'm just going to say...
I think we agree on this one.
If it's that bad, block him.
Yeah.
Don't be associated with him. This isn't, a don't believe girls and I'm bashing girls. I'm a girl's girl. But ultimately, if someone was messaging me, one message, I don't care who it came from. It could come from your brother. It could come from one of the boys at football. I'm blocking him.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing out of line, you're blocked, and I will not be associated
But also,
with you.
if you're getting messages off someone and you've told them to stop and they're still doing it, well, I'm going to want to speak to that person.
Yeah.
Like, regardless, it doesn't have to be a violent thing, but I want to speak to them just to ask why the hell they're still doing it. Like, makes no sense.
So I messaged this guy myself, trying to respectfully say she doesn't like the sexual messages and that it isn't cool to do that to other people's partners.
He messaged, sorry.
Yeah, he texted this guy.
It's weak.
He was instantly apologetic and understood where I was coming from. Oh my god.
Keeping you up, are we? Fuck.
Understood where I was coming from. I accepted his apology because I don't really like holding grudges and we're on good terms.
That's... he's got the word doormat written all over his face. I cannot believe he's even keeping friends with this guy.
But my girlfriend found out I had texted him and she's pissed at me. It's understandable that she would be, seeing as she didn't want me to say anything to him. But ultimately, her problem is solved. She's been cold with me in person and her texts are really dry. I've apologised to her tons and I've tried to give her space, but she's still pissed at me.
I'm going to be honest.
I feel like I'm the arsehole for doing this.
I'm going to be honest with you right now. This isn't going to necessarily be something I think you agree with. You might, but I think she's annoyed at the boyfriend because she's no longer getting her on the side attention
Yes.
and the little pick me up.
Yes.
I think she was quite happy having a cake and eating it. She was like, no, don't say anything. Just, I'll manage it. And then he's there like saying, oh, you look this, that and the other. Meanwhile, then she goes home and then she's getting her boyfriend, who knows it's happening, overcompensating to try and remind her how good things are at home. So she's getting that, then she's getting the text from the guy. And then
I'm with you 100%.
I think the girlfriend's got a bit of... I think her and this friend, I think there's more to the story than the boyfriend knows.
Yeah, and he's a fucking mug.
And is she sending anything back, do we know?
Didn't say.
I think that's dodgy, I'm not going to lie. If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck...
It's probably a duck.
Probably a duck. I reckon that's a duck,
I'm
right
with
there.
you on that. Definitely more.
Because, why wouldn't you? Ultimately, right, the boyfriend is eliminating the problem. So why would that not breathe a sigh of relief and make everybody feel happier?
Here's the thing, though. If a girl was sending you messages I wasn't comfortable with, and I messaged her, I know full well you'd be shitty with me.
I think the problem in this situation is that she's asked him to leave it so she can handle it. So in the situation you brought there, is that if I was saying to you don't message the person, I would follow that up with don't message them because I'll resolve this. And then if it continued happening, well, it continues happening.
But that's exactly what happened.
But
she told him that she was going to sort it out, how am I meant to believe you if it keeps happening?
But the difference is it kept happening. So at that point, then you can. That's when I think anyone's justified to say anything. Whereas if in the first instance, let's say you get a text off someone, right, and I'm like, that's out of line, that's stupid or whatever. You say to me, right, don't say anything, just let me handle this, and if it, and then that'll be the end of it. But that person kept messaging you every 3 days, every 4 days, whatever, then I'd say to you, look, that hasn't worked. Whatever your plan was, it hasn't worked. I'm still getting annoyed. So I think then is when the partner should get involved.
I don't know, see, if I came to you and I said, we need a new name.
Let's go with Terence. We don't know a Terence.
I can't. Let's go with Paul.
Paul.
If I came to you and I said, look what Paul's just texted me, and it was vulgar, and I mean all absolute filth, I'd have no issue if you turned around and said, well, I'm going to message him about that. Absolutely no issue, because ultimately I'm your missus.
Yeah, you do raise a good point there, in fairness. It
And
depends on the messages they're sending.
Truthfully,
doesn't it?
if a girl texts you all this filth, then I'm going to knock her door.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be more than a door you knock.
I'm not going to waste my time texting some hoe.
I wouldn't text them as well. That's the other thing. Like, surely you just have a chat with them. You call at the least, or you'd see them and...
I'd go around the house and I'd say, hello,
Yeah,
get out, we're having a scrap.
Left, right, good night.
Left, right, good night. Taking Jaws round the park.
Yeah, you're definitely the more feisty out of the two of us, aren't
Listen, ultimately, if you're my fella, you're my fella. Why is any other
No, I get you.
trying
Yeah.
it?
I do get you.
It's not about me being feisty.
No, I do get you. I think that's a good one, though, because the situation there is the guy, I think the boyfriend's being played by his girlfriend and the friend.
Absolute mug.
Yeah.
They're shagging.
Yeah, that's definitely their shagging, without a shadow of doubt.
And they just bunch of weirdos.
And, like, I would want to see, like... So let's say he's texting her. What is she saying in response to that? Is she responding? Is she blanking him?
I feel we should have had more from him.
Yeah.
On that front.
We should have like seen what the comments said as well. Maybe like the guy responded in the comments. We'll do that next time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, on the whole, I think no, the guy isn't a dickhead for
No, I agree.
For approaching that one in the way he did.
No. I agree.
Did we have any more questions?
No, they were all of them.
Do you have any more questions? Try and think of one. Go on the spot.
Okay, this is deep.
Oh, God.
This is really deep.
This is the last question of the night. You've got to make sure it's a good one, I suppose.
Right.
Am I going to feel uncomfortable?
Yeah. Maybe. I'll give a bit of backstory.
Here we
Okay. Men...
In your view, are trash, no?
Men are trash. Hashtag I hate men.
Not all men, no.
Men are trash in general. Anyway, so I don't know how to give the backstory to this question. Right, anyway, I'll just ask the question because I can't explain it. Do you think you proposed to me because you wanted to marry me or because you wanted to be married?
It's a good question, that is. So the question. So you've said to me there, have I proposed to you because I wanted to get married?
Yeah.
Or what was the other option? Sorry.
Because you want to marry me.
That's the option. That's my.
Yes.
That's the one. Because at first they sounded like the same question. Like, I wanted to be married, but to you. See what I mean? So you're the thing that I wanted in that situation. The married. So for example, if you'd said to me, you didn't ever want to get married, it wouldn't make me not be with you because I want to be with you. I don't care if that's married or whatever. So it's you that I wanted to be with.
Because this is how I tried to explain the backstory. Lots of men. Take Austin Butler, for example.
Remind me.
He played Elvis.
Oh, yeah. I like
He
him,
was with Vanessa Hudgens for 10 years.
The one from Glee, not Glee.
High School Musical, the Smiley Girl.
Yeah, she always smiles. Sidebar, that woman cannot do a scene in a film without smiling, even in the sad scenes.
I know.
As you were. Go on.
And they were literally just boyfriend-girlfriend for 10 years. And I think he's like early 30s now.
Yeah, he's a year older than me, isn't he?
And I'm pretty sure he's been with his girlfriend for 2-ish years and has proposed. Which is very... it happens a lot. Mm-hmm. Someone will be with someone for ages. And then they'll split up, whatever. Get with somebody else. And then they sort of like realise in their head, like, oh, well, this is probably my last chance to get married now. So then they'll propose to whoever they're with at the time. Like Adam Collard did the same thing.
Love Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
He's literally engaged.
I remember him.
And they've been together like...
Wasn't he like a playboy? He was like proper...
He was the biggest player.
Yeah, he was like a proper player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's been with his missus, I don't even think a year, and proposed.
Fair play.
Because he knows that his clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be like 35 and single.
Is Vanessa Hudgens...
She's married now.
So that's interesting. They both are now married, but they were together for 10 years and didn't get married.
Yeah, because Austin didn't propose to her. She was with this new fella for like 3 years. They married and they have a baby.
But,
this is what I mean in like, time doesn't mean anything.
But does that... I see, when you first said that story, I thought you meant that Austin Butler had been good enough to leave... Like, to respect her views. She didn't want to get married, so he stuck with her for 10 years.
No, they both want, like... She wanted to get married.
Ah, right.
It's just that he never proposed.
Got you. And then he jumped ship and 2 years later got involved. Right,
but, like, we're proof that time means nothing. We've been together, like, 2.5 years and we're already engaged with a cat and a mortgage.
Yeah, I know. God. That's what I said. 6 years crammed into 2. Yeah, but it's like, we know each other... like ridiculously well, like we get on stupidly well, so it's it's that age-old thing, in it, when you know kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's not necessarily a case of wanting to get just married. I wanted to be with you in whatever.
And I know that. I just asked the question because it's been sort of trending on TikTok at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. It's a good one. That.
Yeah,
I like that.
Do you have a last question?
If I was... Could you stay with me?
Oh, no.
If I had a job that took me away for every 4 weeks at a time? 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off. Like people who work out on oil rigs and stuff, or... I'd be bringing back lots of money. There'd be loads of, financial gain. And you then get me for like a month straight, for example... But could you do that 4 week period in the house, running things or whatever on your own for 4 weeks?
Okay, I have 2 options here.
2. Go on.
Option 1, I get a job with you.
On the oil rig?
Yes.
You want to become an oil rigger?
And I say to the boss, I say, listen, fella, I need to be on the same schedule as Dave.
Yeah.
And if I'm not, murder, she wrote. Genuine.
Yeah. Left, right, good night.
Stop saying my thing, it's my thing, and people on here are going to think it's yours, and it's not, it's fucking mine. Anyway. So that's option 1. Option 2 is, yes, I'd have to leave you. I can't go to work. I go to fucking work for 8 hours and I'm like, oh, I miss you. A month.
For the record, I wouldn't take the job.
4 weeks.
I couldn't. I'd struggle.
I'd die.
Yeah, I'd struggle with that.
I'd move into Macy and Will's beds, truthfully, for a cuddle goodnight.
Yeah. See, for me, it's like, the reason I wouldn't like that, and I couldn't really do it, is because you go every other month, you have to have a totally different life. And the month that you're together, it's not a normal month, because you're...
I still have to work.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd just be chilling at home. I'd just be,
And then it'd be pointless. I can't take a month off work every other month.
No.
And imagine I was pregnant.
Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it?
Or imagine I had just had a baby. So much happens in a month of a baby's life.
Yeah.
Like if you see the kid at 3 months, you then see it at 5 months, well, it's probably started, weaning onto baby food and making, giggling and all that stuff. You're missing a month of your child's life.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you. I think it's...
So I think even if I personally could do it, it's not fair on the baby.
Yeah.
So long story short, I couldn't.
No, and long story short, if you flip that as well, if the partner takes the job...
It's on them.
That's on them, yeah.
They've ended the relationship.
They've chosen to pick a job.
Exactly. Especially if you have discussions about stuff like that beforehand. Like, we have discussions about pretty much every scenario that could ever happen to either of us.
Hence the podcast.
So we know like what would fly and what wouldn't fly and what would cause an issue and what wouldn't.
Yeah, like there's no topics between you and I that we don't discuss openly if we need to.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Good, bad, ugly.
yeah, literally anything.
Emphasis on the ugly.
That's anything that's, you know, potentially in the ether, we'll just put it out there. So, you know, that's one of the things I think I love about being with you is that I've got the option to be completely open.
It's because we're such yappers.
And honest. Yeah, I know. Just looking, I can't believe it's been 44 minutes.
Yeah, no, I can't. But this is what happens.
Yeah.
Even if we're just, like yesterday.
Yeah.
We were sat here, we had an argument yesterday. Which we won't dive into. But then after... whatever. After the argument calmed down, we sat here for about, what, an hour?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
And discussed said argument.
Yeah,
Calmly. It wasn't another
it
argument.
Wasn't, it was a good
we
one,
just had a calm discussion about how to handle things like that and steps going forward.
How we can help it.
And, you know, personal growth.
Yeah.
Not from you, but from me.
Yeah. No,
as I grow. And that happens with pretty much every discussion.
Yeah.
Like one of us will raise something that's quite small at the time, so we'll think, all right, pause that, it'll only be 5 minutes. Hour and a half later, we've just finished yapping and it's bedtime.
And yeah, that's the thing. We always seem to have these little things at like 10:35 when it's like, you think, oh, it'll only be 5 minutes. And then you start the conversation, you look at your phone, it's like it's 11:45. And you think, oh my God, I've got to get up for work.
And Dave's old, so he
old.
can't have a late night.
No, basically.
We can tonight though, because, I'm going to town.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, but still.
That's fine, that's fun though.
Yeah.
And I'll nap when Man U are on.
Yeah.
Man U is shit.
I support Man U.
Man U is shit.
I'm a loyalist. But I've had fun doing this.
Yeah, me too.
I've had fun. We'll have to do it again. What are you thinking, weekly?
Yeah.
I reckon weekly.
Every Friday or Saturday night we can record one.
Yeah.
Like if you've got plans on the Saturday or during the Friday.
Yeah. Because we can get people to send you messages, me, whoever. They can
Your
send
friends
us
won't
messages.
get involved, they're old.
Yeah, but some of them are old, but they're cool. Like Nathan.
He's my friend.
He's our friend, yeah.
He's my friend.
He's definitely ours.
No.
He's my groomsman, so what?
Because he's my friend. You wouldn't even be friends with him if it wasn't for me. Nathan, if you're watching this, I love you more than he does.
Maybe by the time we come to do this again next week, we get some sort of response from Nathan on whose friend he is more.
What the fuck?
Maybe-
Wait, that's going to
maybe we
cause
do that.
reactions. Maybe we get a guest.
Hey.
Maybe we get Nathan as a guest on our
That could be fun.
podcast.
Codcast. We could. On the Codcast, we could do that, actually. We could do it on the podcast as well. That's just as fun. In case you're wondering where Dexter went, he got a bit excited. Moved
He
the
has
camera.
been evicted.
So he's sleeping on the stairs. He likes to sleep on his corner upstairs. But yeah.
I don't think they cared or noticed.
No. But yes, I've had fun. Have you had fun?
We've had fun.
We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Signing off.